Let's see.
Do you see the live stream?
Almost, I guess. I'm refreshing the screen. Yes, we are live.
I cannot see it. Oh, here we are.
Here we are.
Okay, so we have a couple of more minutes.
Yes.
We'll wait for,
of course,
people to join.
We've done many interviews like that, sessions like that, but we haven't done together one yet, right? This is the first one.
This is the first one together, yes.
How exciting.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hello, Tom. Welcome to the stream. Let's wait for some more people. It was a while ago since we did some, though. Feels like all new again.
Of course, it was almost at the beginning of the, not all, at the beginning, but
yeah, more towards the
pandemic
beginning.
times, yeah, quarantine times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
So things are not as locked down anymore, which is nice. How is it over there?
God. You mean here in Turkey?
Yeah.
Definitely not locked at all. We are diving. We have been free diving almost every day for the last, since June the 1st, I would say.
But before that, you were in a quite strict lockdown, no?
Oh yeah, exactly. We were pretty locked.
Yeah, here in Egypt, they recommended and everything, and you stay home. I was very thorough with that the first like 2 months at least, I think. But they never really closed the water. Yeah, we had to close all the business, but it was open. So in the end, we could go diving if we wanted with each other, with no customers. But the Red Sea is beautiful any day, so it doesn't matter.
It can even be better these days, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Now we have people back, so
yeah,
not the same flow of foreigners, but people are coming back for sure.
Yeah. I think slowly it's gonna get much better. This summer was really busy for us. The local market, I mean, the local freediving enthusiasts, they really wanted to start freediving, which we are going to talk today. And yeah, it was good. It's still a super busy season. I think it's gonna be like that for a bit more.
But you did something quite clever. You started teaching all the theory through Zoom online. So people still start their courses and do their training without being in, with social distancing.
Of course, social distancing, and when people cannot come, you have to go there. So we just changed the medium, the environment. The classroom became a digital one, and we started to meet with everyone just for the in-water sessions. So, and the in-water sessions, we have a big patio, fresh air, open space, limited sized groups, and it became very entertaining.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice.
It's been working out fine. Look, we have some more people coming in.
Yes, slowly people are coming.
Karim, Egypt is here. Excellent.
Hello, Karim.
Yeah, it's actually 4. Should we start a little bit more seriously, or we wait another minute or so?
1 more minute.
Give it
a minute more. Yeah.
Hey. Thomas is in. Hello, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
Move my computer. Okay. So the topic in general today is starting freediving.
Yeah, exactly. Would you like to introduce yourself, ladies first?
Ladies first, okay. Sure. Well, I'm Lotta Eriksson. I'm International Training Director for SSI since several years, and actually have been working in freediving education for many more years before that with other agencies. So I started with freediving and went into education part of it quite relatively quickly. So I'm still freediving, I'm still having a dive center, but I also work with developing the freediving education.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yes, my name is Memo, and I'm also one of the Freediving International Training Directors. And together with Lotta, we are in the product management part of the SSI freediving programs. And we work hard to develop new programs to bring new and exciting materials for our customers, for our new students. And for many years now in the SSI. Before I started as a recreational freediver, but then the freediving for me changed the course pretty fast and dramatically, and I found myself as an educator, which I totally like. It's teaching freediving is a super passion for me, and yeah, here we are with you.
So yeah, I mean, when I started with literally wanting to hold my breath longer because I had been swimming with a dolphin and it just could stay underwater longer than me. Like, how can you do that? I heard there's something called freediving, and apparently you can learn how to hold your breath. And then I was on vacation in Dahab. Well, absolutely no freediving here yet, but I managed to run into one of the first freedivers to come here to try to see what is this blue hole everybody talked about. And I did a course to hold my breath longer. That took me straight into competition freediving. So I pretty much did his 2 days homemade course, and then I started competing. And I did that for several years before I started teaching. So at that point, you just learn by yourself, but trial and error, and it's not really.
So the start for you was self-taught, basically.
Right.
So right. The start for your freediving career was like you self-taught yourself how to freedive and to find the right
with other and within the competition realm, so to say. Yeah. And for you, how did you start?
Mine was a little bit different. My passion started with spearfishing for many years. For me, the passion was to find a bigger fish. Not a lot of fish, but I was just looking for the fish. And I was traveling a lot to find that fish. And one day, out of blue, I met a freediver. So we went diving together, and it turned out.
You didn't shoot him when you saw him.
Not really. I was
a big fish.
He was also spearfishing. So when we went to freedive together, later on, like I knew he was good, but I later on learned that he also had a couple of world records. He was a super good freediver. Maybe some of you guys know as well, Davide Carrera. So, and he really, really looks good in the water. So when we first dove with him, I got goosebumps. So I never seen someone who was like a fish in the water, so streamlined, so good in the technique. And I said, damn, I have to be like him. It's inspiring. so it started like that. You know, the first spark of freediving came from him. A couple of months later, I met the Greek freediving champion. I got the same spark again, and both of them said, you know what, you should think about teaching freediving. When I heard this second time, then I made my mind.
I was thinking of teaching freediving. Yeah.
Exactly. I didn't wait for the third time. And yeah, it became the journey afterwards. And a good journey, of course. But it took me many years to fix my self-taught habits.
So how long ago was this? What year was this? What year was this when you were thinking like, okay, maybe I follow their suggestion to?
Yeah, I think it was 2009.
Okay.
2008, 9, some year around that. Yeah. It was nice. Yeah.
No, it's nice. Yeah, I mean, I mainly, there was competition, of course. And then I think teaching wise started around 2004 more permanently. I kept competing, of course, too, but it started there. And there was not much materials, proper materials around in any kind of agency, very few agencies at the time. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, and quickly got into developing actual course materials for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was not like that now because there was no freediving education or official proper freediving education. And self-learning is a process which takes quite a lot of time, as we all know, and not always guaranteed that you end up learning the best or discovering the best stuff, which keeps you safe and happy while you're freediving. So those were the days, actually. So Lotta, what do you think makes what is a freediving education? Like in your mind?
Well, I would say like the main difference of just going and trying to learn yourself with your friend that had some experience or actually taking part of a proper education is that you will progress much faster. Because an education system has a logical sequence of how to introduce different skill or activities in a certain order that make complete sense. Like it's good to have a good finning technique before you just focusing on deep equalization, for instance, example. So you follow a much more logical path and you have guidance from people who know how to fix certain issues. I very well remembered how everybody's duck dives were absolutely crap. Even in bigger competition, not everybody, but that was a constant like joke, you know, looking at bad duck dives. Yeah. And you can learn how to make a good duck dive. There is a certain technique to do it, but I was never taught that, and my friends were never taught that. So you just go down and waste a lot of energy and splash everywhere. And then at some point I wanted to teach somebody to do a duck dive. And I just tell them, yeah, you bend forward and swim down. I don't know what I said, but obviously that didn't work. They were all over the place. So that's when I started thinking, what is it? Because by then I could do a really nice duck dive. But being aware of exactly what you do, you know, what do I do first? What comes next? What is the next movement I'm doing? Which order is this? And how do I explain that with words to another person? So yeah, I'm self-taught with a lot of how to do it, but also how to explain it to somebody. What exactly do I do and how do I explain it? And every instructor, every student or somebody who wants to freedive should not have to go through that process. It takes years then to develop every single skill you need. An education system have that already set up for you, and you don't need to. You can just use everybody else trial and error process and get straight to the point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. This is the beauty of the proper education systems. In if we just summarize, education is delivering the information from one party to the other party in a logical sequence. The system makes it much more efficient because we have different materials to assure education is always 100% good and effective. Sometimes we have books, sometimes we have videos. Now our books are in the mobile devices and everyone can use it with the use of a simple app. Logbooks, they are digital. Everything is adapted to the needs of 2020. So this makes proper education systems much more different than one man's story. Of course, we learn quite a lot, just like you said, from our customers, from our students, and systems evolve themselves.
But so another point of that is with the actually following a system is that if you go to one school and then this instructor teach you something, go to another school, everybody has their own way and their own non-system
style.
So you go to one person, you do something, you go to a completely different person. They don't know what you did with the first one. You know, it's like starting over again, or everything again becomes maybe not in a logical sequence, maybe contradicting themselves. So using a freediving system makes you, education system makes you able to do a course in one place, go to a completely different part of the world and continue your training. And it keeps following the same logical sequence in your progress.
Exactly. And I think not because we are SSI, but our system assures that 100% of the time. Like if one customer starts freediving in a dive center, in your dive center in Egypt, can come to another dive center at the other side of the world and exactly continue with the same standards, routine, sequence, everything in the other dive center later at a time. So yeah, that's the beauty of proper education systems. Yeah.
But there is so much thought and knowledge and put into an education system that other people have just prepared for you on a plate to use.
Exactly. Yeah? Exactly. But still, I think the importance of an instructor is critical for the development of any education system or any for freediving in general, I would say, because they will be the role models. They will influence the customers, and of course, they will have a mark on the. They will have a print mark, you know, like on the students' development, and of course, like we definitely want to have good instructors, don't we?
No, of course, but I mean, we can just read that much or watch that much on a video or so to learn any practical skill. Yeah, in the end, you need to practice, and a one-to-one, like face-to-face teaching is invaluable. Yeah, it makes a huge difference, of course. So the combination of all these parts is the beauty. Yeah, and that we all learn in different ways too. Some people learn best by listening, others learn best by reading or watching, and you get all of it as you wish. But you can never take the instructor out of the equation.
Exactly.
And at some point, no matter how good all the materials are, if the instructors are not so good, it doesn't almost matter how good the material is. So the instructor's professionalism and knowledge is super, super important. Like the whole education system, of course.
Exactly. It is our duty, the duty of the instructor, to connect let's say to create the connection between the theoretical knowledge to the practical knowledge by giving you the proper examples, proper actuals. That's a technical term. But then this way, students learn much faster without false attempts or wrong attempts. They spend their time 100% efficiently.
Yeah.
And of course, the development becomes much, much, much faster. In the past,
and
before,
safer, I have to say, because
yeah, exactly.
you will stay within
Exactly.
a safe range limit. Yeah.
I still remember not too far ago, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, people were feeling really hard to believe to see proper free divers, let's say high level free divers, doing these deep dives, seriously deep dives. But when they learned, these people started to free dive just a couple of years ago, and with proper knowledge, repetition, and coaching, they come to what they were. The old timers were having these hard times to digest it. In their mind, everything had to be, self-taught, self-discovered with trial and error, and progress had to be super slow. I'm not arguing there must be a lot of repetition in freediving, but of course we save so much time with good education. That's the reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, today being a good freediver is faster than the past.
It is. It's definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember I had a very fast progression in depth in competition on my first year of freediving ever. And people were super amazed, like they never saw. It was so uncommon that anybody progressed that fast, or a girl doing this kind of depths at that time. And 10 years later, they do more quickly. Yeah. But they have so much more knowledge to dig into when they start that it becomes easier to progress faster. Yeah.
Exactly. But coming back to the instructor, in SSI, all of our instructors will smile now that we give a lot of importance to develop them to become the best of the industry. We are super picky. We are extremely objective to develop them. And we would like to create the best professionals of the freediving industry, don't we?
Yeah, of course we want to.
Yes.
I think it's so important to educate instructors, and I really love that job since it's a big part of my job. It's not enough to be an awesome freediver.
Mm-hmm.
It's a plus to be a very good freediver, of course. It's a big part of having a really good technique yourself. That's a big part of the instructor. But knowing how to transfer the information to another person in the right steps, that's actually the main key of being a good instructor.
Exactly.
So every 100-meter diver is not necessarily automatically a good instructor, and you can be a fantastic instructor without being a 100-meter diver.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. A super common question coming from the field is, do I have to be a competition athlete to become an instructor? Absolutely not.
Oh.
But you definitely have to be a freediver. You have to understand the logic of freediving and how the freediving mindset works.
Yeah.
You have to know what you're talking about. So experience is definitely needed, but you don't need to be a competition freediver. And just like Lotta said, not all competition freedivers can automatically become amazing instructors.
And it also has to do with passion,
Yeah.
I have a massive passion for freediving. Changed my whole life. My husband said that was the worst invested 75 euro in my life because I lost my scuba diving buddy. And the only thing I talk at home now is freediving. So that's more than 15 years ago. So that was a joke at home. Yeah. So I'm extremely passionate for freediving. But I'm also very passionate for teaching. And this is two completely different things. Yeah, the combination of that can make a great freediving instructor. But just a passion for freediving, if you don't like to teach people, it's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly. I got a question for you coming from Thomas. And by the way, we got a little bit rusty in the openings. We forgot to tell you that you can ask any questions you have in your mind. We will be delighted to answer. So Thomas is asking you, what are the becomings of becoming an instructor trainer with SSI, considering it's much longer and costly than other agencies? What does that affect the level of instructors of the agency?
Good question, Thomas. Should we invite you into the chat and you can tell us? Okay, sorry, that was a joke. Thomas is also an SSI trainer, so he knows the answer. He just wants us to speak about it. Yeah, I mean, the SSI freediving instructor trainer course is relatively long, takes between, I would say, 10 up to 14 days, but depending on how many people is in the course, of course. But we cover a lot. We don't just cover it. An instructor course is not about teaching the candidates to freedive. When you come to the instructor course, you know how to freedive. And in the course, there is two major parts. One is learning how to teach both the skills, the in-water part and the academic part in the very best possible way for different situations and different students. Learning to see what are the issues, how do I solve them? That is the key of being an instructor. So, and the other part is also to learn how exactly the SSI system works, because everything is online. We have the student materials online, the instructor materials online, the logbook is online, certification procedures, everything is online. So of course it's important to really learn how all that works during the instructor course too, to be able to provide the proper service for your student in the end.
Yeah, exactly. And I would like to say a couple of words as well. When you consider the professional career, the first step is becoming an instructor. Then you can become a higher instructor. And at the very end, you become an instructor trainer. So when you don't know what's inside the world of freediving education, it just gives you the image of you're climbing up on a pyramid. So the instructor trainer sounds like he's the guy sitting at the top of the pyramid, sort of the king of the jungle. On the contrary, an instructor trainer for us is the guy at the very bottom of an upside down pyramid. So he is the source where everything starts. He produces good instructors produces good freedivers. So the responsibility of an IT instructor trainer is huge. We always say,
somebody doesn't know what they do, an instructor trainer is apparently the one that creates the instructors.
Exactly. So, so if the instructor trainer rating is just given without proper training, then the results can be catastrophic. Yeah. So we always, in our standards, our students should achieve at least 80% success in the final exam, in the skills. Everything is designed for that. In order to catch the minimum 80%, an instructor has to give at least 100%, because people forget. And guess what? How much an IT has to give? More than 120%. So the ITs should know good. They have to know everything about the jungle. That is how the industry becomes healthy. That is how good freedivers can be produced. That is the idea.
Of course. So the trainer seminar, I mean, first you need to have been an instructor for a while and have quite a lot of teaching experience before you can attend a training seminar. And then, of course, in the training seminar, the key, like Memo said, is that you learn how to evaluate the instructors and check their knowledge and skills to make sure they are at the high level standard we want before they get certified. So people can trust that the SSI system have overall, everywhere in the world, a high level standard of instructors. To have that, we have to have a very high level standard on instructor trainers.
There's another question coming from Mohammed Shamala. He said, how much it costs to make a crossover as an SSI IT?
If you are an IT from another recognized agency, what are you asking?
Yeah, just continue. Yeah.
Normally, we don't do crossover to SSI straight away from IT to IT. So an IT just do a normal crossover into the SSI system, and then an IT has to attend a full IT seminar. But the price for the IT seminar is about half the price of a normal. So what the IT from another agency gain is a very reduced price to join the IT seminar, but they have to complete the full seminar. There's no short crossover seminar.
Yeah. Exactly. And to make the crossover, Mohammed, just go and check the SSI website and look into the details of We Want You campaign. We have a special project going on these days, and you can contact the nearest SSI service center in your area and get the details from them. So that is easier than ever, actually. Not
it's easier,
like easy,
cheaper,
financially.
Also financially easier.
Yeah, financially
that's
easier.
That's the first step anybody has to do. You have to just do a crossover from the agency you are to SSI as the highest level of instructor you are below the IT rating. That you have to do before you join an IT seminar.
Yeah. Now we are drifting into the professional pathway a little bit.
Very professional.
Yeah, and at the highest level, talking about how to become an IT. If you're an IT, like these people, ITs in freediving are pretty rare. So I would like to change the direction of the conversation into how to start freediving.
Yeah, that's where we were supposed
exactly.
to be. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So,
how do we start freediving? I always would recommend to go to professional freediving.
Exactly, not from YouTube. YouTube is not the way to start freediving.
No.
I don't know any other easier words, but you will hurt yourself if you are watching videos and thinking that those videos are making you better without like correcting everything. You are mistaken. So you need the eyes of a qualified instructor to develop your skills.
Because it's personal, and we start on different levels, and we will have different issues in the beginning. Whatever it can be, equalizing issues, sinuses issues, fear of depth issues, spinning technique issues, can be anything. And the instructor will obviously see what it is you need to work with and address these parts. When we go on YouTube or any forums and people discuss things, it can be on a level which is way beyond what you personally actually need to work on at the moment. Yeah. So it has to be personalized. You want to have an education that is personalized, that addresses your level and your situation and your goals, of course. What is your aim? Why do you want to freedive? This is a very important question you should ask yourself, but also your instructor. And this way they can tailor make a little bit and focus on these areas that will help you to reach the specific goal that you're aiming for.
Yeah. Let me talk a couple of words about the goal. You don't need a divine reason to start freediving. Everyone can freedive, regardless the age or physical abilities. This is a sport, seriously, everyone can do. If you're healthy, if you are able to walk, swim, then you are probably okay to do freediving. And freediving courses at the very beginning do not ask more than that. And if your reason is just to see and feel how it looks like or feels like, that is more than okay. You will discover the reason to continue freediving once you start freediving. That is going to touch you in a different way. And you will find yourself thinking about the blue, thinking about freediving, or thinking about dreaming about holding your breath. So don't look for a special reason coming from the sky enlightening your head. So
and like you said, that can come as you're starting, but the beginner course is, no matter what your goal is, if you want to already decided, I want to start competing, or I'm going to go to a trip to the Bahamas or something. I'm going to go snorkeling. I want to be better at diving, holding my breath, watching the reef, or taking pictures, whatever it is that is your goal, why you want to hold your breath longer. My goal was swimming with the dolphin. I ended up competing and then becoming an instructor and educator. So goals can change on the way, but whatever the goal is, the beginner course is essential for everybody, no matter what they're going to do later, because that's where we learn all the basic safety skills and safety knowledge about how the body function when we are freediving. So whatever your goal is, a beginner course is crucial and so valuable.
Exactly.
Is the right
exactly. And there are different levels of entry-level courses. You can find a try freediving program as short as half a day, or a one-day resort level program, or a full level 1 program, which is 2 to 3 days long. So depending on how much time you have, how much you would like to commit yourself into the game, there are options. Just you have to make the first step into the freediving. That is all that matters. Yeah.
The nice thing, if you're looking for, okay, if you would listen now and say, cool, this sounds really interesting, I want to do this. Where do I find a freediving center then? You can find it on the SSI homepage. They have a dive center locator. If you go there, you can search your area, you put your country, you put your city, you put your area, or where you plan to go training, travel, you put that, search for freediving, and you will see any SSI freediving center in this area. So it's quite simple.
Exactly. Exactly. And if you don't know where to start, but if you know what your dream is, we also thought about you. We have my dive guide. You can search about the wildlife around you or the diving opportunities around you and figure out what dive centers are listed in these areas and plan your trip before you go and take the first step. So it is easier than ever.
Exactly. And the nice thing with the feature called my dive guide is that everybody participate. When you log your dives in the digital logbook and you add things about this specific dive site, even pictures, comments, they can be visible. So if somebody else goes and look at this dive site, they will see, okay, this is how it looks from other users, not because somebody said so, because like, what did you say before? It's like a TripAdvisor for dive
exactly.
site.
It is like a TripAdvisor of diving industry. So it feeds itself with the feedback from the real users.
Yeah, exactly.
So if the dive site is bad, you see it's bad. But if it is good, you definitely see it is a rising star in that area.
And you can see also how many people have dived there, because if you go diving in a dive site, you log that dive for that dive site, this shows up also. So you will see popular places, not so popular places. Maybe you want to stay away from people, you show the ones that don't have so many. Who knows? You choose.
Yeah, exactly. So plenty of stuff to check these days in the SSI webpage. And for the ones who didn't know yet, we are now celebrating our 50th anniversary in SSI. It's exactly 50 years since SSI is born. And we also created a new program, a new course, which is free for everyone, 50 years of SSI. And check it out. It talks pretty nice. I mean, it has really nice information about the history of SSI, freediving, scuba diving, technical range, everything SSI is covering.
And also how it works. Sometimes can feel a little bit overwhelming. There's the app and there's different features in the app, and there is the blog and there is the home page with different features. So it really nicely explains a little bit of how that works. If you have any questions about this, it's a good place to go and look. Yeah, exactly.
There's even an interview with my diving guide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I liked it. I laughed a lot reading it. So it is
you
a nice.
You laughed a lot reading the interview with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you haven't checked, please do. You will learn a lot about SSI and our values, our philosophies, and how we started the journey and where we are now.
Exactly. I would like just to go back one more time. We feel like we're wrapping up a little bit now, but just for the part of like how to start freedive again, which is the point here. Freediving is not necessarily all about diving deep. There is a lot of freediving done in pools. So if you live in an area where there is no access to deep water all year round or at all, there's a lot of freediving training that is always done in pools. So there might be freediving centers around you anyway, even if there's no open water, because pool training is very essential for freediving. Exactly. And there's people, so they are still freediving.
Yeah, exactly. I always like to say freediving is a lifestyle. Regardless where it is taking place, pool, open water, a quarry, or a mountain lake or river, freediving lately is representing a healthy lifestyle, a healthy way of living, and the fun way of living, challenging yourself, trying to learn about the nature. So I don't want to say challenging the nature. You cannot challenge the oceans, but yeah, but it is extremely fun. So it doesn't matter where you are living. If you are in a landlocked city, still there are plenty of freediving opportunities and exciting ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We spend many hours in pools. At least I did. I don't know about you.
Yeah, definitely.
In Sweden, we didn't have as much open water as here, so.
Yeah. All right. I don't think we have more questions, but if you have questions, these are your last chances to ask.
Yeah, go for it. I see a comment from Aurelie. Hi. You did the course with me 9 years ago. Time flies when we're having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So thank you very much.
If there's any question coming in, don't be shy. Maybe they are shy. Who knows?
You can always drop your questions in the comment box and we will come back and answer them later on. So when this interview is over, that doesn't mean that you are losing your chances. We will be answering you happily.
Here comes one. Pool training helps to go into deep on the sea. So how do I start free diving again? Sorry, Jonathan, I think you're a free diver already. But if you stopped and you want to start again, it's important to step back a little bit and don't start where you stopped. You always lose some of your ability. MDR doesn't work the same. So if you had a long break from freediving, don't think you can start at the point where you ended the previous section of freediving. Always step back a little bit to stay safe.
Yeah. And for Vitor, yes,
How does pool training help deep depths?
It helps because you make your dive reflex stronger, and all you need is just adaptation for pressure afterwards. So it will really help for you to go deep into the ocean.
When both of us work in travel destinations, we can say, so people come to us for a shorter period of time, a week, 2 weeks, to train or do courses. If they come from a city somewhere where they don't dive regularly, the best thing to prepare for the 1 or 2 weeks you're going somewhere to do some more deeper training is to do pool training, for sure, especially dynamic and static. This helps your MDR, it helps your finning technique, your relaxation, body position. You train everything you need to have, and your breath hold ability, of course. And when you come to the diving destination, like you said, it's the pressure adaptation and the equalizing skills that are added. Everything else you can train in.
Exactly.
What else did we have?
I don't think we have more.
So I hope we answered Vitor's question. And Jonathan, I hope everything is fine with you. He's an IT already too. So. Okay, we finished?
Yes. So thank you very much for joining us and listening the little chit chat about how to start freediving and how SSI freediving programs work, the education system work. And yeah.
We have some actually question from Karim.
Yeah, go for it.
Read it. I'm so bad at reading.
Okay. Karim says, based on what a potential freediver can choose a training agency, training center, or instructor. So when a potential freediver would like to start freediving, we can assure you that wherever the freediving center is, they are following the same standards, the same quality of education in SSI, of course. So just contacting your local freediving center, getting in touch with them, asking which kind of programs are available, and you can even check their training calendar online and see the courses that are available that are suitable for your timing. That would be the best first step. The rest, that will happen automatically. You will be connecting with your new freediving family and start your journey from there onwards.
Yeah.
Gary said the classes are so expensive. No, they are not. Freediving doesn't mean they are for free. Freediving is just the name of the sport. And it requires a lot of diving.
Yeah.
Super.
I think we are ending the questions. Thank you for everybody who asked something. And maybe we will keep doing this once in a while with the interviews.
Exactly.
But monthly, bi-monthly.
Sure. Please, for all the viewers and the future viewers, please feel free to drop your thoughts about what the future topics would be. What would you like to listen? Drop it in the comment box. Then we will for sure talk about them.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much.
See you next